Well, one of the derailments affecting many women today has clearly come out of hiding. Postpartum depression is no respecter of persons, as you can see from this magazine cover. 15% of new moms will experience baby blues, but 1 in 1,000 women suffer from the more dangerous postpartum psychosis. The fact that this is our second guest in less than 2 weeks who has emerged from this valley makes me want to learn more about the terrifying disease. Derek and Genevieve Taylor are here from Calgary, Alberta. And I want to say, folks, I would love to give this delightful book to any mummy-to-be, because it begins as a journal of infanticipating. And then it takes a dark and truly fearful turn. 2 weeks, Genevieve, after the birth of your first child, something happened.
Yeah, it's hard to call back to memory why or how. It just all of a sudden came on. And because of my treatment, I don't really have any memory of that time. But I just remember feeling this isn't myself, this isn't me. And so.
And Derek, thankfully, Genevieve was right up front.
Yeah.
She said to you, something is very wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so thankful. She came down one Sunday morning and said, Derek, something just doesn't feel right. I need to phone in and talk to some, the nurses. And I'm so happy that she did.
Derek, tell us what you do.
I work for an aerospace company in Calgary. We develop satellite-based voice and data communications to and from aircraft.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a very busy man.
I'm a busy man.
At work. And
Yeah.
we will see that this became a huge derailment. Brand new baby. And you were told that you needed to be hospitalized, Genevieve.
Yes, I was in the hospital for about 2 months. Again, I don't even remember going into the hospital or being admitted because of the treatment at that time. I didn't think my daughter was my daughter. I thought she was my sister's.
And you didn't think you were married to
Derek? I didn't think we were
Derek?
married anymore.
I mean,
so
this
I
shows...
totally lost touch with reality. So anything that was real, anything that was true, I didn't believe. It was just gone out of touch of reality. So.
Now, as Anne said earlier in the program, this is so mysterious. We don't really know for sure what brings this on. You look at the picture. We have a photograph. How soon after delivery is this?
This was probably about an hour after delivery.
And what's the first thing I said when I saw this picture?
My eyes. There's
I
something.
said, look at your eyes.
In my eyes.
They don't look like any of the pictures that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
And yet you didn't feel strange at this point.
No, well, you've never experienced it before. It was my first child, so.
I mean, look at Angelina Jolie's eyes. I mean,
yeah.
I don't really know what's going on with her, but something looks strange there too.
Yeah.
This would become so serious. You would hear the words, Derek, what did the doctor say? Your wife isn't responding to the treatments and we deem her a medical emergency.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy stuff. Here we are, new parents.
Everything was beautiful.
Everything was beautiful.
I have the journal notes in your book of a mother just delighted with her new little princess. There's no negative here until this cloud moved in. So serious that I assume this is shock treatments, ECT treatments, electroconvulsive therapy. Controversial.
Very.
Family members were not keen on this.
Especially, people believe in healing and they say, oh, God can heal you and that sort of thing. But I believe that that's the state that I was in at that time. And the doctor said, you might not ever come back. And that's what was told to my husband. They said, she might not come back. This is our last resort. And so sometimes that you have to take the medication or there's therapy and such. And I had such amazing doctors. I was so blessed to have wonderful doctors and nurses and the support of the family to make it through.
Even your Dr. Petrov, he says, and everybody's contributed in here, it's one of the reasons I love this book. Anyone who was close to the situation has contributed their own journal slice.
Yeah, she did.
And Dr. Petrov says, talks about the fear of what you're facing, again, you might never have come back to a sound mind.
No, that's right.
He said, however, from the first moments, there was another feeling, even stronger than the fear, and that was their trust and support of each other. I believe it was that support and trust that helped Genevieve and her family to get through this terrible ordeal.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. I think we've been married, we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary in June, and I think it's, you know, you believe in the fairy tale weddings and, oh, this is what it's going to be like. And even with the birth of my first child, I was getting everything so ready, and you have these high hopes and high dreams and expectations for things. And then real life comes, and those circumstances come in that you never, ever dreamed would imagine. And I think it's just saying for one another to be able to have my supportive husband to come beside me and say, okay, she's totally lost it. She doesn't even think that I'm her husband anymore, and Hope's not even my daughter. But it was so neat because in the midst of all that, we just held on to each other and the hope that, and the love of one another and of our families. So.
This is a fairy tale marriage. Everything, your wedding, everything started out. I think you had Cinderella theme coming down the aisle. Too perfect for words. And then as a young couple, Derek, your wife had the mercy, if I may be so bold as to say it, of not really knowing how bad this all was. You were sitting with a brand new baby daughter at home, not knowing if you were going to be practically a single parent out of the gate.
No, definitely. I felt so bad too because obviously she carried her for, you know, the 9 months, and it just broke my heart that she couldn't be there to experience being a mom.
Someone even suggested that, are you going to stay with her?
Yeah.
I mean, so it was terrible.
Yeah, it was no question. You know, that wasn't an option for me. So.
Your mother was a godsend.
Yeah, she helped out.
I think she was the first present daily caregiver.
Yeah.
With that sweet little girl, you would not have been breastfeeding anymore. But it was important to bring Hope to the hospital every day.
Yeah.
Why?
Just the bond that Hope was to create with her mom was probably, the doctor said, was the most important thing. There'd be time for Genevieve to catch up, you know, with her, but it was important for Hope to be able to look into Genevieve's eyes and know that she was mom.